Let's talk a bit about integrity. Let's go deeper a bit. How do you decide if someone is a person of integrity or not?
The way they are committed.
He keep his word, he's committed, he's consistent in his behavior. And that's something which is hard-earned, by the way. You have to spend your entire life to preserve integrity. Because one slight mistake, your integrity will be questioned. Betul tak? There's a difference between image and integrity. Image and integrity are two very different things. Image is what people think you are. Integrity is who you really are, even when nobody's watching. Consistency. I'll give you an example of this. I've got a friend. He's a friend now, but he was an acquaintance many years ago. This is a person who is very environmental conscious. He's got 3 bins in his house, the recycle bins. He started doing recycling when he was not very fashionable. He's the type of person who doesn't use an air conditioner in his house. He uses fan. He's a very well-to-do person. He go plant trees on weekends. He's a member of World Wildlife Federation. He drives a hybrid car. So he's very much conscious about environment. And I thank God for people like this, because the world needs more people like this. What happened was, one day, my team and I, we were about to leave for Penang to run a workshop there. When we were about to leave, suddenly my client called me up. Maxis called me up. They said they wanted to meet me. I said, okay, I'll meet you. So I went to KL Central, had a meeting with them. But my team had to go on. They had to carry on with the journey because they had to set up the training center there. So after the meeting, I was in a dilemma. Do I drive to Penang or do I fly to Penang? Because 2 days after that, I've got another program in Langkawi. While I was thinking on what to do, suddenly this guy called me up, this friend of mine. He called me up, he said, hey, he wanted to ask me for an opinion. And then he asked me, where are you? I said, I'm in office. And I said, I need to go to Penang today. And I'm not sure whether I should drive or should I fly. He said, you're going to Penang? I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to Penang today. Why don't you jump into my car? I thought, wow, that's great. Sure. He was kind enough to kind of pick me up in Jalan Nampang, my office. And he was also kind enough to bring 2 cans of Coke and 2 cans of Nescafe and, nuts, because Malaysians go nuts over nuts, and the nganyins and the kuachis, and, because we need to have food in our car, because you never know, you might die of starvation on the way to Penang. And what better way to maintain the obesity index of this nation, right, by eating and munching all the time. So he came, he picked me up, and sat in the car, we started talking and, having conversation, and we had a great time. Just before Ipoh, at the Tapah Rest and Service Station, I told him to pull over. I said, bro, can you pull over? I need to go to the toilet. He said, sure. By the time we reached there, the car was already messed up. The 2 cans of Cokes were empty already, and then the packet of nuts were all empty and it was strewn all over. So the car was pretty messed up. As I got out of the car, I said, are you coming? He said, no, you carry on. I'll just wait in the car. I thought, okay, fine. I went to the toilet. About 3 minutes later, I came back. When I came back to the car was already cleaned up. And I appreciate that. You know why? Because it's always nice to come back to a cleaner environment, the OCD that I am. So I thought he must have taken advantage of that 3 minutes and keep the car tidy. So I sat in the car, closed the door. As he reversed the car out of the parking lot, something from the corner of my left eye caught something strangely looked like ours. It was a plastic bag that looked identical to the one that we had in the car just 3 minutes ago, with the 2 cans of Coke in there and the packet of nuts saying bye-bye to me. And I'm thinking, hold on, that must be ours, because it was placed exactly in the middle of the parking lot that we were sitting on. So my thought is, he must have cleaned up the car. And maybe he wanted to throw the rubbish. Maybe he was looking for a dustbin, which is a very rare commodity in this country. You can't find one when you need one, right? Or maybe it was about 50 meters away, and 50 meters, according to the Malaysian standard, is very far. So what he did was, he must have opened the door, nobody's watching, and slip it under the car. Who you are when nobody's watching is the real you. Image is what people think you are. Integrity is who you really are. You want to have longevity, you want to have a great team, build a team that focuses on integrity, not just image. Image will take you this far.